When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having indirect object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish their right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative power, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amounts and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burned our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the work of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. Of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. Of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity. and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, representatives of the United States of America, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of a right, the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of a right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Perfect black light. Jamaican people, we're going to show you further evidence that Andrew Holness is a perfect dunce and a solid incompetent. Now let us bear in mind that the Cockpit Mountains is one of the 10 places in the world that has not been touched by man, whether modern or ancient. No walk through it yet. It's never been geologically surveyed or mapped. And he's going to sign over bauxite mining lease to companies without knowing what's there. We don't understand yet the underground water system and how it channel and the caves and how they interlock and produce and send the water. We don't understand why it has borium, iron, gold, diamonds. But he has given mining leases to people, to foreigners and foreign entities. That's to show you the extent of a dunce that
complete gratitude. Grand uprising, free people of this earth. Yeah, man. Again, Declaration of Freedom, it's a Declaration of Independence. But when you scrutinize the document, you hear them talk about these colonies, and you hear them talk about the merciless Indians at their frontier. And then we ask, whose independence was this? Because our people find ourselves in a pending state. So it's safe to say the foreigners came here, war with the Indians, or the native people here, the original people, the Negroes. And by way of miscegenation, mixing with a lot and change up a lot of things. And the information is out there what demonstrate these things. So we reach the point now at 1775 where them have the Benjamin Franklin, where I work from over France. It's all foreign to us. This is what I have been saying. It's all foreign. Foreign man come to my land and create their foreign construct and assimilate my people within their foreign construct and change our hemisphere. Then the very same foreign people declare so-called independence when they say they are immigrants settling here. The very foreign immigrants came here, war with the people here, claim to settle here, then break away from their masters because them said them want be lord over these people. So it's all foreign politics, people. I said the political system, it's all foreign. When we even scrutinize the whole situation a bit more, just listen to the information shared or even pull up the document and read the document with legal definition and try place yourself in a time frame, in a context of when this document was written. The so-called native people weren't a party to this independence per se, because we were being persecuted even at this very time frame. And all the stories, his stories out there about, prove these things. Now, with a document like this, we set precedent across the earth. Then it makes sense for people who choose to scrutinize them kind of document and reverse engineer the document and apply it to your own situation easily. Easily. This is why I say I have, really two class of people. The people that will choose to be free and the people that will choose not to be. And usually the people that will choose to be free are the people that will not have a problem and think autonomously. You never can program these people. It's really difficult or near next to impossible to enslave these people. Why? Because they think freely. And just by their very thought, it makes them free. Really. May I look on Papua New Guinea and Australia, and I look on the Chinese them impose themselves in all these locations. And we've always said, watch out for these Chinese. Now, it's safe to ask the question if the Chinese Communist Party, meaning China is a communist country, a communist nation, always been that way. And China is an ally with Russia, where they must say the bad guy. Communist location, same way according to their world standard. But I notice our government now have no problem going to bed with China as a communist place, country, communist ideology. But then we sidestep Russia. And now we are look on the war with Ukraine and Russia, where you'd have said the West aside with Ukraine. And the East probably aside with Russia. But we there we play politics. Because we have IMF money where we are getting a loan. So we become debt slave to IMF. And then for whatever reason, that loan not enough, we have to get loan again from China, another debt slave. So you see China come and control harbor, so them have China harbor. And that's where them start them, them process, little by little. And them use the illusion of money, saying them will give us all kind of, things. And all we do is give away everything to these foreign entities. And I like how the good brother Basra bring it forward. When I get to play the whole tape, me hear saying probably, use some colorful language. And true, most people might hear it before, But I just like the fact where even the Maroons down there, as a group, as a people, and you have a lot of different Maroons, I should say. But them a put up a fight and them a put up a stand. Irrespective of where we as a people choose to call ourselves, I think we have missed the fact that we all exist in a dislocation. We are share the same land mass. We are share the same air. Yet, because of foreign intervention, because of foreign influence, we as a group of people choose to divide ourselves. And because we divide ourselves, we have foreigners totally oppress and dominate us. So when even we as a people are going to say, how the so-called representative just give away interest in our land to foreign investors at the detriment to our environment and our people. These things are valid questions. But the answer lies in the fact that we're governed by foreigners. And irrespective of the guise or the veil that is there, the truth is that in order to be free, you have to make yourself free. And if I as one man I say, hey, freedom, freedom in, I am free, and everybody else stand around and look at me, then we not going to accomplish nothing. Because remember, the foreign man bring the divide. Because the original people at this location are look way across the Atlantic and I choose to call themselves Africans and have that affinity. And that present a problem because these kind of people have no affinity for the location where them find themselves, for the location where them probably originate. Because their ancestry will prove that. Consanguine, that's talking about the bloodline. Most of we have that kind of relation where when it's not by blood or by marriage, we're going to have some kind of connection. But because of the political divide, the religious divide, the social divide, which all of these things are foreign engineered. I keep telling people, say even the political system where most people are raw and raw about, will create all this chaos, is an experiment. They talk about democracy when people don't really look at what it is. Mob rule. So if the mob wrong, then the mob have a rule, even when it's wrong. It no make no sense to put people where have low moral standard and lack integrity in a position and put on some European suits on them, jacket and tie, and think, say, boy, you're gonna get probably good from what is not good. When I look at the imagery out there, especially, I laugh when I see the presentation talk about Papua New Guinea. And I look at these guys, these governmental guys, them suits, and them look weird as mess because not long ago we are looked on the very same man them in them native apparel. And the moment them transform and start wear the suit and tie, and become Europeanized, Western Europeanized, then it's a big problem them have in them location. Because it's always a foreign hidden hand behind all the catastrophes across the earth. Just check it. In a dislocation on our island, yes, foreign hidden hand. This is why our head of state is located nowhere in the American hemisphere. This is why when on the mainland, the United States of America corporate entities missing the fact that the attorneys that govern Congress goes right back to Inns Court. You understand? Outside of this hemisphere, it's all foreign. But again, that's my point of view. That's my opinion, which I'm entitled to. Why? Because I am man. A man have dominion over all things. This is how basic. People are run away from the cause of all of this. The first cause of all of this. And I work hard on the effect of what the cause bring. Then I work hard on the effect and say them want a solution. It don't work that way. They have to go to the root, man, and correct it from there. And this is why when I say I remove myself from being governed by a group of guys who have foreign interests, put it that way. They take a little knowledge for that. And these things are personal things. These things are not a group thing where we go group up and go church and a clap, sing song, wap, 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 wap. And the pastor say, yeah, everything good. And yeah, say, yeah, everything good. But only the pastor live up in a Hollywood while the rest live in a Southampton. You get me? But you have to choose. It's just like you have to choose to stand up. And sometimes when you stand up and you think you're alone, surprisingly you're not. When you look around, you say, wait, there's so much people that stand up. And you can take comfort that way. But to start the journey, usually you have to start as an individual, when we say individual, personal man. You know as the one that has really step up. And then you look around and work with the people and where is of like mind. One of the problems we have with people is they're always disingenuous. I may I say it that way. And you hear me say, they're always disingenuous. That is one of the biggest issues. But I think patience, as they would say, become a virtue. Yeah, man. But most will never attain that virtue. But we as a people have to be more sincere with each other. You understand? We can't look at each other as the very same product and commodity as how the foreigners look at us. We have some of our people who are so selfish and then we think, say, boy, it's unseen. Anyway, again, we just step forward, share some information, pass through and bring our energy. And we say give thanks. Yeah, man. You have some things where you don't necessarily have to give energy to no more. Me have a group chat where I probably have to go naturally dissolve it again as me I share with the group chat and clean up some files and probably reorganize the group chat again. However, sometimes it makes sense to really step away. Really step away. When I have a problem, I deal with self-introspection. One of the things where I got on a GP that was a beautiful energy when me have to look into what me I deal with, what me I do, and who I really have around I. And me I listen to Dr. Mumbi Wake Up Africa program. And here are a touch on it. Me I feel say, wow, good sister, are you really speaking to I? Usually, I saw you connect on a level out there where the information comes to you from all different sources. It can be just a newspaper headline. Yeah, you can just pass and overhear a conversation where confirm the meditation where you may be entertaining. Yeah, man. So, Sometimes we choose for the good and try share, but to what extent? Me I reason with a couple of brethren and I say, boy, sometimes enough is just enough, you know? You can do so much and not much more. You have to just plant the seed and you try nurture it and, you know, hopefully it grow. But we can't allow ourselves to be so accessible where any and everyone can come and feel like, you know, them are gonna have access to you where them are gonna feel like them can set your schedule for you. It no work if you're a man like that. I mean, I have no respect for persons or the personas. I mean, I really play that game there. So you see when people come forward, according to how them step forward, I man just facilitate that. According to how people engage me or even entertain me. You know what I mean? Me deal with them accordingly. And I can say this, most of the people are disingenuous. They're not genuine. They're not, you know, and as much as they try, it's only for say they manifest themselves in such a way where you have to question them and I say, what's going on? Where you are dealing. So sometimes we have to step back and, you know, take a break. And I think now is one of those opportune time and, you know, probably even the YouTubers will go forward. Cause I'm like for just lick some just private up my tape and I smile and say, yeah man. So same like how it's out there, or same like how, you know, we can just shut it off. And we can just disappear and just go in our corner and go about our business. We can do that. In other words, people choose to share and people choose to do what them want to do. But in my situation, I ain't obligated to no guy. No one out here, period. You understand? And if the ones them get a chance to check all my early tapes when I just step forward and I go get the feel of when I deal with and who I am and what it's about. Me are not one of them ones that would necessarily want to play the sucker role. Want to come and use and misuse and then toss to the side. I have no interest in that, and I've said that 1,000 times. I'm one of the few when I have a problem, I share other people information and direct people to other people's locations so they can at least choose to learn. Excuse me. I have them problem there. I have a problem. I say, yo, Ian is the man who do some things where me, you know, in line with where you are dealing with because a commercial rare and you know what I mean? You have all kind of those issues. And all those other platforms. Only true me know say when most people will come and hang out with me and probably they'll never get it amongst those guys. And everybody have the time. And everybody have that patience there. And some people, it's like school. If you not qualify or if you can't match up to the curriculum that is in front, you're gonna get left behind. And the teacher now gonna just sit with just you when them have 50 other students in the class. You're gonna literally get left behind. And a lot of people experience these things in many of these schools. Hence, you see them attach themselves over here. And when them come, whatever information them have, them not share here for build. Or them not bring it to a man like high attention and say, yo, King, X, Y, Z, and Ray. So even I come now take the man content and information and share publicly like that. I personally have to look at it and qualify the information and say, yeah, it seems, yeah, me try it and yes, I'm not one of those, hey, go do this and go do, and we have a lot of people here where in a them kind of situation there. So may I make it clear so I not for watch how I approach a man like me. Because when I not come, me already see me already know what is, me already, you know what I mean? Have my own ideas of who is. And all I do is just use patience and let uno demonstrate or prove to me, say, yeah, this is what it is. Where people have to be more sincere with each other. We always try to compete with each other. We always want to debate each other. If one man have his opinion and his view, that's his. If him have a following of 1,000,000, probably if me did have any big following, 1,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, probably more than a problem with people out here. Because everybody would have want to get at me. Why am I have so much subscriber rate? That's why I'm glad when people say mustard seed. Mustard seed is not about all of that. It should be about you and bring some information where people can develop, especially the common or what they call people and the simple plain people and when I know this kind of what I mean, when I have no access, would even have no interest. It's about them and about the business where people are, watch each other money and I get rich. YouTube, I pay them. The corporation, I pay them by way of commercial advertisement. And nothing wrong with it because you put in your work and thing, but I know nothing for glorify and glamorize. You understand? You give thanks for an opportunity for build yourself. Just build yourself and see how you can help us as a people with the correct kind of information and process. Demonstrate so you're not all corporate. Show us a boy as free ones and ones then, this is how now conduct on a business affair outside of the commercial construct. Or if it's within the construct, then it's this way. Show with these things. I man as a plain man step in a court, I've never used an attorney. Never have the need to use an attorney. You understand? If a man want to bring a lawsuit come to me, a man have to know what I'm do. Because I'm not going to just bring a lawsuit. Me bring a, one of them like a quiet claim there. So when a man come to me with attorney, them thing, they will lit me up and say, yeah, give thanks, because I know so them people and I exist. Which attorney have first-hand knowledge of any fact? And which court hearsay can have any kind of stand outside of the inferior banks? Again, the inferior banks. They not really deal with justice there. They deal with commercial business. So just step by step, people hear them a say, oh, independence. Them a go tell us, say, boy, them kill off the Indian and take them land and these things. When the true native, the true people of the land is still here. Has always been here. Nobody not kill we off. It's like them say, oh, hey, we kill off the Ahuuakh them. Yeah, some bang belly, stringy ear people, foreign people. Oh, we kill them off. And we import these African, and these African want to import. That's always been here. Still they are not gonna away. All them do is just divide themselves. Some say them are this, some say them are that, some say them is all different kind of things. But remember, you know, I'm here the man who say, I am that living soul manifest as man first. You understand? And then when nobody allow nobody to label me. So this is why when we reach a level, we can choose to put on this hat or that hat. You understand? As an executor, you have to function in a multiple capacity accordingly. No different from the temple, this physical temple where I house this life spark where you are here. This physical temple where Babylon are called the body. It have many different organs. Whole heap of organ. You get me? But you know, different offices, but everything is, you know, centrally governed. And everything move harmoniously. When you see the government structure out there, it's actually a sort of family structure still. I just, we have to learn, we have to remember, and we have to choose to become better. All of we not gonna make it, but we have to plant the seed. We have to just plant the seed, man. Cause man, I gonna live on. Yeah, man. All when you drop flesh, man, I live on. I saw it go. But declaration of freedom, we don't necessarily want to remain in a pending state. Because if America get independence and them still talk about slavery, even right now as we speak, then whose independence is it? Man better choose to declare themselves free. Man better choose to declare themselves free. Or foreign entity, I got claim them as property. And because your silence is acquiescence, then absolutely nobody now go try come save you. You voluntarily enslave yourselves. And this is the subtlety to it all. If it's all business, if it's all contract, and people say you as a people is in contract, outside people cannot interfere. This is why I say the constitution where everybody want to mess around with. That's the contract. But you have to know how to invoke the contract so it apply to you. And this is the subtlety in a people. And this enough people not really express. When them say you go in a court and them not hear you because of this or that, you just do not have the keys. We give you access so you can walk in and walk out. And the moment you go in one of these courts, it's foreign because it's governed by a whole set of rules where you are not a party to. So if you submit yourself to the will of the court, then you're just that. So you have to challenge the jurisdiction from the get-go. Because if you not challenge the jurisdiction, then you submit to that authority and control. And when we say challenge the jurisdiction, not necessarily mean, you're belligerent. Not necessarily mean you're combative or adversarial. You get me? It just means you have to ask questions for honorable clarification. Are you not a man? When I talk about people, me have a way where I can talk about them as man. That's when I call them name without a put on a title on it. You get me? Like what I said, Chief Judge John Brown. Me have him in a corporate capacity there, so. But when I just say John Brown, then me a reason as a man. Me a give them the respect there as a man. If you know what I mean. You get me? I now go just willy-nilly disrespect people. Come out and say, hey, that judge had this and that judge. If that judge are out of order, then we can talk about it. But if that judge demonstrate honor, then we can talk about it. I'm not really, follow a crowd. And I'm my style that. I set precedent. You understand? Yeah. Everybody not up on the same level. Yeah, man. Everybody not necessarily I go find interest in everything what me say. You go have some things when me talk about where some man we agree with. And you go have a host of other things where probably a lot of, where man doesn't agree with. A man doesn't agree with a host of other things. But that not say a man that's necessarily not disagreement with I as man. Man will disagree with the information. And when people that on that level, I can respect them kind of people that opposed to some other Mickey Mouse people where getting at them personal feelings. The moment we step out here so in a public space, fair game, we have to choose to show the respect and show the etiquette and, maintain a certain decorum. But that no means that we can't tell a guy say back where. You understand? Free will is just that, my people. Free will, and I said my people because me identify with a specific kind. Everybody on a mind. You can't say that. You get me? But as man in the earth and woman in the earth, we share the earth. So we have to naturally show respect, irrespective of your kind. You get me? So if he's a blue man, at the same respect. If he's a China man, a pink man, at the same respect. What we are saying is this. Within our domain, not China man, nor a foreign man, not for coming out a people's domain or dominion and want to usurp that and want to control that. And I said them want to govern that. When the people accept that, then, we know say boy are the people's choice. Everybody now go accept these things. Everybody now go accept a foreign rule. The problem is that too few of us have them kind of point of view there. And the fewer we will have those kind of point of view, we're not united. We're too divided, whether religiously, economically, socially. You know what I mean? It's always something where the vibe with me a maroon and you honor maroon. So that make we not man then. We lower ourselves from being man where we can look on each other as yeah, man and man equal upon this level. So we have to move to a level of labels. So your label, your brand is bigger than my brand. Because your brand, they a long time. You understand? From 1492, your brand there. So your brand powerful yet. Your brand will come here as immigrant and migrants from all different kind of location. Comes to this brand, comes to this man. And we have to choose people. Yeah, man. So, I now go say independence is synonymous with freedom. I won't say that. You get me? Yeah, I'll more say autonomous. Autonomous is synonymous with freedom, not independence. So, Declaration of Independence, you ask a question if it applied to the people and that is enslaved still. It's just that the people have not know so them enslaved. And that's all it is. And that's the big trick. The great deception. Great illusion. Yeah, man. People them must say them independent and them, all of these things because them not change for them man. And when me I talk about freedom, freedom in them, I say them free long time. When me I chat about, where am I go with that? And I say we're free. But there's levels to this thing. There's stages to this thing. So it's a step-by-step thing. We can't beat our people. We have to teach our people. You understand? So them can improve and lead themselves. And not necessarily want to lead a call of these leaders or something else. This is why I'm still looking at a mirror. Yeah, man. That's looking at a mirror, man. Yeah, but correct knowledge, Yeah, man, that should aid with. That should aid with. If we don't have knowledge and have a bag of money, we're going to be a problem. And we can look out there and see it. Our small island, yeah, them as say people are suffer here and there, but we don't have none. Wanna die from hunger. Our people are destroy themselves. So we have a location where we give thanks and celebrate and opposed to one small group of people that want everything for themselves and sell out the rest of foreign people. We have to be more sincere with each other, man. We have to be more truthful with each other. It have to start with us. We now go want to be sincere with foreign people. And we're quick to be truthful with foreign people. When some foreign man run in on the island, the little peasant them bow down like sheep. You get me? Them foreign guy with them foreign wealth not impress a man like me. That's why them not know me. That's why not boy and run come to me, but them are offer me. Yeah man, me write up one piece of paper and give and know say my work that. Yeah man, but me now go, see some foreign guy. Some overweight foreign guy will look like a owl. You get me? And show them have a bag of money, people dismiss them, you know? All of the red flag where you see and run into these people. Salute my king, bit silly. Bone man, 538. Salute, salute my king. Early stroll, you know? It's always a foreign hidden hand. I'm tell the item about these people. Everything you have good and bad. If you have a Freemasonic organization, you have a plethora of bad people in there. And you have some good people in there. Put it that way. Because anywhere good that bother come and bother come enough. And if you entertain bad and nurture bad, then bad it is. And it's the same with good. Yeah, man. So we as a people have to put our differences and, know, say, boy, we must can resonate with certain ones and work with certain ones and ease up for the back and forth. Yeah, man. But now I got to accomplish nothing that way. Nothing that way. A man like I sit down for information and some style where I just have to just, hold my own. Yeah, man. You have to just hold your own until you reach a level where some people where step up, because the people them have to step up in. Yeah, man, you have to be patient with someone, make them step up. When them step up, you just say, yeah. You share some information so them can step on. But everybody want to attach themselves to this commercial part in a way where, you know, yeah, say, I'm not in I think same way. I can't function, And no, say, see thing there and see me there and start good. All these contracts, so it can't interfere with your work where you choose to do. Yeah, man. And you have people where are citizen where function on a level where knowledgeable, You understand? But you have to know what kind of citizen he is. Because an American citizen is separate and distinct from a United States citizen. However, they're still citizens. You say it well? That's why a British official can tell my yard brethren, say, your human rights different from them other people, your human rights. You know what I mean? She just weren't specific, say, your status. That's all it is. And it's always your status. And just like how them would have say, you know, understanding. You know what I mean? Where you standing there? I mean, when I'm standing there, and I see me as man stand up in front of you. But them always like things in writing because them, eradicate the written word. I mean, the verbal where you go in and hold up your balls in a court and swear for your balls, and when you lie, a man carry out a door and chop off that. You know what I mean? So then put it in a affidavit. You know what I mean? You have to write an affidavit because it's all commercial business now. Step by step, people. Yeah, man. 4th of July, them say holiday all over the place. But that's reflection for us and correction for us. And again, we might pass through, cause through we do what we want. And we give thanks for the opportunity to do just that. There is so much people I man have to thank where I come across where You know, I have to always give thanks for the people that I come across. Good and bad. So I come across some people where I don't necessarily have interest for, you know, engage. And we come across people where we have to say give thanks to them kind of energy there. Give thanks to them kind of, you know, knowings there. But my people, we have to be more sincere with each other. And that's our problem. And if you're not interested in where people, you know, where some man are the loud people and man, nobody go mess around. Don't go over there try setting up the people and on these things. Because we have a lot of people do just that. Then try coming in your mix for really jam you up, literally. And if you allow them are gonna do just that. And when people come on you know, impose their views, you stand out. You gotta stand out loud. So it makes sense people go easy. As them would have said, take time to know each other, man. Take time to know each other and try to be more sincere. You understand? And some of you guys out there, not all business is good business. Some want to consume with, you know, just making money, 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 money. You understand? And not care who wanna crush. You understand? And not care who wanna, you know, destroy each other. Because like the information game now I become like how the so-called rare game was out there. When man a peddle information now. A man a moving from man territory, so man a fear, you know, go at each other. And hey, you have, you know, this amount of subscriber, and you buy your subscriber, you know what I mean? All them thing that small, man. We have to outgrow them part of them, man. Yeah, man. Focus on the task at hand. If you say you deal with something or deal with people knowing themselves, then you have to focus there some. Yeah, man. Write the books them will bring them kind of energy there. Like the Mickey Mouse back and forth. You know, it's demonstrate. So they are them are infant. They are them are really infant. Yeah, man. You have to rise about that, you know. But on the other hand, me I celebrate, you know, quietly. And me have to celebrate life and I celebrate the experience. Cause more time you get an opportunity to do some things and when you do it and do it, you know, you just smile. And everything jump out on YouTube. Really. It's not everything. Yeah, cause the serious thing them not touch YouTube. And even in my group chat, when me used to openly share a lot of things, I don't do that no more. I don't really do that no more. And the people in my group chat I go, well, I'm quite sure they're aware of that. We have too much people who want you to say something for nothing at all. And them not willing to make absolutely no sacrifice. You understand? And our people have this passion to use each other, misuse each other, and abuse each other. We have a passion for that. But you see, when the foreign man come, we lay out red carpet for them. You get me? Because you know you're going to get some kind of commercial benefit. And usually, and all foreign men have good intent. Really. I mean, I have to say it that way, because and all foreign men have bad intent. You have some foreign men where just look out there and know, say, yo, see a group of people here will need a strength and may have so much, you know what I mean? And then bring a strength with no attachment, not like these Chinese, where what so-called government are letting our place. These Chinese, them not do nothing for free. When them I say them a loan you money, where is it? It's like a IMF, I got to tell us that them give $1.3 billion in loan. And a man like me, I got to say, wait there. Make me look on it. You can't. It's what you call book data entry. And if them say, hey, you really want to see it? Them just go print some paper and bring it come. Negotiate the instrument. Where is the loan? Where is the money? It's all, yeah. Yes, people, it's all just that illusion. But if I might say it that way or not, I say, boy, that man, they have, wait a minute, we talk about illusion. But not the real world, we know. That's what I'm going to say. But again, perspective, point of view. Yeah, man, but real to you are illusion to me, man. That's why I'm gonna choose to listen to everybody and I talk about, a next man like me can make law. Contract a law, man. Me and you have to agree. If we not agree, we don't know about that, man. Understand? When we talk about law, it have to be about nature, divine things. When man deal with it's called bylaws. We regulate them commodity and them property. Yeah, man. Very same bylaws that is in place for the corporate public employees. We just have to know them distinction. That's all it is. But salute people. Tanzania. That are the image I'm going to bring forward on this thing. I'm like a little natural type of scenery thing. I really like it. Yeah, man. Long term thing. That's why I like it. You can catch back a video and that's easy and you listen and I take in the scenery. So gratitude I people. Give thanks again. Mustard seed. Declaration of Independence. Yeah, man. Declaration of freedom. Give thanks.